Teen Wolf new episode, Weaponized. So, where do I begin? So basically this episode directly follows the events of the previous episode. It starts off with Scott and Styles discussing what to do with the money up in their room. Well, they hear the tape of the benefactor, and so they find out, okay, they're getting mixtapes and how he works. But then they discuss what to do with the money, whether or not to give it back to Derek and Peter. And then Malia shows up, and she says that they found Satomi's pack, and that Derek took Braden to the hospital. And so that's kind of the beginning of the episode. And so for the which story should I do first? Well, they all kind of interconnect in this episode, so I'll just go all of them in order. So, shortly thereafter, Deaton is visited by Satomi, who has one of her pack members is still alive, but he's fighting this strange infection. So he tells her to go to the hospital to go visit Melissa McCall. And so then in the morning, it's Saturday, and it's time for everybody to take the PSATs. And so they go in, they sit down for the tests, and one of the girls collapses, and Lydia's mom basically finds out that everybody is infected with some disease. So she calls the CDC, and the school's quarantined. And so they're trying to figure it out. So, quarantine, they shut the phones off and and internet and all that stuff, so there's no contact with the outside. And so eventually Scott goes into the locker, and we find out he's having problems controlling his shifts. And so then they get everybody in there, Kira, Scott, Malia, and Styles. Lydia already took the SAT, so she's not really she's not there. But they find that they're all having different problems. Malia can't retract her claws, and Kira's having neurological problems. So they decide that they need to go someplace safe in case they lose control. So they decide to go down in the vault, in which they discover there's a secret entrance down through the cellar. So while this is going on, Lydia's at her lake house. She's trying to communicate with Meredith, because after Meredith killed herself, she feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's very sorry. And so she tries to communicate with her to no avail, and then she goes to the school to try to help out there, because, she's a banshee and all that. But also, Derek and Melissa talk to Braden, and they try to figure out what it was. They're like, no. So they find out that it wasn't a poison that killed Satomi's pack. It was a virus that they were all infected, and it killed all of them. And so Satomi's beta dies, and so by talking it out, they figure out that they are that it's a form of, basically it's a wolf virus. It takes out a lot of wolf. That took out 40% of the wolf population in Yellowstone, and it's been genetically engineered to specifically affect werewolves. And so then we find out that all non-supernatural creatures aren't being affected by it. And so they discover that there's a cure in the Hale Vault. So Styles goes up to try to figure out who is trying to kill everyone, and he discovers it's the SAT dude. So he tries to have he tries to get Styles to lead him to them, and Styles tries to hold him off, and the guy Simon is killed by Agent McCall. And then Styles gets down there, tells Scott where the antidote is, and then Scott and Kira and Malia cure themselves, but afterwards Malia finds out that Peter's her father. So that puts a huge anchorage, and so she walks out on Styles, which is the first time she's done that so far that we've seen her. So that's this episode, Weaponized. I feel like this was another really, really good episode. This episode was really suspenseful. I don't think we've had that much suspense since, I want to say since season 2. Battlefield was a really suspenseful episode, and this one was really suspenseful. So I was just really, I like that about this. But it's a fairly good episode. But I want to talk about 2 things, also like I did last time. I want to talk about 2 things that happened outside of the Teen Wolf fandom, or outside of the show, but still part of it. So like I think I mentioned last week, Teen Wolf's been renewed for season 5, 2 sets of 10 episodes. So what's happening with that? And so there's this website called showspoilers.com or something like that, where they spoil a bunch of TV shows. And it says a bunch of things, like it says that the possibilities, like somebody from the main cast is going to go missing at the beginning of the season, and so they confirmed a lot of people. They confirmed that Kira, Scott, Styles, Malia, Liam, and Brett, who is the werewolf that almost got killed by Violet in IED. So I guess maybe he joins Scott's pack. I don't know. Maybe, and that makes me think maybe Satomi is going to die, but that's, getting into spoilers territories. It says that Deucalion might come back as a series regular, but it doesn't say anything about Lydia or Derek showing up, that they're not confirmed yet. So a lot of people are jumping on saying that those 2 characters aren't going to be around anymore. And the other thing is further evidence that maybe Derek won't be around anymore is that he's currently shooting a movie. I forget what the movie's called. And he's also filming another TV show. So people think that since he's got his plate full, he might be leaving Teen Wolf. He could do multiple shows. I mean, it's possible. Colton Haynes did Arrow when he did Teen Wolf, so I mean, it's possible, but then Colton Haynes also left Teen Wolf shortly thereafter. So, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for that. But, yeah, thanks for watching this review, and I'll see you guys later.